A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Malaga were actually competing in the Champions League, where they were seconds away from a semi-final place. But recent times have been hard on Malaga, dropping as low as the Spanish third tier for the first time since 1998. However, now comfortably mid-table in the Spanish second division, I think it's time we get Malaga back to where they belong. So today we are jumping into FC25, we are taking charge of Malaga, and we are ultimately going to win them a Champions League trophy. Now, if you do enjoy the content, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it does really help me out. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. So let's now jump into FC25 and get this Malaga rebuild on the way. So this is the Malaga team we have loaded into an FC25, and let's be brutally honest, this team really isn't the best on paper. Now, the best player at the club is goalkeeper Alfonso Herrero, who is actually 30-year-old and 74 rated, followed by our second best player at the club, Nelson Monteith, 28-year-old, 72 rated. And we've also got a 32-year-old, 71 rated CDM, Luis Smith. All of the best players at Malaga are aging and won't develop by much more. But in terms of young players, we do have a very exciting young player. Antonito Cordero is 17-year-old and 65 rated with 4-star skill moves. He is definitely someone to keep your eye on in this rebuild. And we do also have an exciting right midfielder as well. David Larrubia is 68 rated, 22-year-old with really decent stats and a few play styles. He's another young player to keep your eye on. But looking through the rest of the squad, lads, it really isn't the best. Pretty much all of our best players are aging, which is a real cause for concern. We only have 3 players at the club above 70 rated. I think we're going to be in for quite a rough start to this rebuild. And we also have an absolute hatful of players out of contracts at the end of the season, literally over half of the squad. So first things first, let's sort out the formation and starting 11. And we're not going with a 4-4-2 in this rebuild at all. And the formation we are going to go for in this rebuild is one we have never used before. 3-1-4-2 formation. I think this formation gives us good defensive solidarity, as it can be turned into a back 5 out of possession, but in possession it's a very forward thinking attacking formation, and I genuinely want to play exciting football as Malaga's manager. And the way we're going to play is actually with a balanced approach in everything that we do. You may remember I used this in a recent rebuild and we had excellent results with the balanced tactical preset, so I'm going to give it another trial in this rebuild. Hopefully once again it can do the business for us. Now, Malaga start off with 7 million euros and we definitely need some signings. Now, Molina and Luis Smith are over 30-year-old along with Galilei, so I think it's essential we bring a young promising centre mid and centre back into the club in this transfer window. And if we have any remaining funds, I would like to bring a striker to the club as well, as both of our strikers aren't really at the level to fire us to La Liga. Can we stretch 7 million that far? I think we can, using loan to buys and potentially free agents. So lads, we have been very busy at the start of this transfer window, and we have made 3 signings who I think make us a much better team. Now, the first signing we made was a young centre back from Real Madrid. Jacobo joins us on a 2-season loan with an optional future fee of 1.25 million euros. He's 19-year-old, 65 rated, 6'5", and got very good defensive stats. With good potential in FC25, hopefully he's got a long progressive future as a Malaga player. We then loaned in a striker who I'm really excited to use. Iker Bravo joins us from Udinese on a 2-season loan with an optional future fee of 1.4 million euros. He's 19 years old, 66 rated, 6 foot with decent progressive stats. Like Jacobo, he's another player who I'm hoping can grow substantially in a Malaga shirt and carry us up the leagues in Spain. And we've also made a cash signing from the league above, bringing Manu Bueno to the club for 1.3 million euros. He's 19 years old, 65 rated with really decent stats, can play centre mid, centre attacking mid and CDM. He's another one who looks like a really good young player. And with Bravo, Bueno and Jacobo added to our starting 11, it brings the average age of our squad down substantially, and I'm hopeful these 3 players can grow loads this season, along with our 2 exciting young wingers. And we do have a decent bench, lads. We do have plenty of options on there. No 170 rated, but a lot of players who could grow, with even more players available in our reserves. Don't actually think we've got a terrible squad for season number 1. Now, we're still left with 3 million euros in the bank, but we want to get our youth scouts out scouting. We want to get some coaches in. Don't think we're going to have enough money to sign anyone else in season number 1. Now, before we progress any further, we've got the small matter of sending our youth scouts out to find some young talent. And today we are going to be going with this comment. We are sending our youth scouts off to Somalia. Hopefully we can uncover some serious talent while we're scouting over there. Now, boys, our starting 11 is locked in. For the most part, our contract situation is now sorted. We've made 3 terrific signings. We've brought in a load of decent coaches. Don't really think there's much more we can do other than simulate forward straight through to the end of season number 1. And I'm not really expecting too much from this Malaga team. Let's just see how we get on. So we have arrived at the end of season number 1, and I do not know whether I should laugh or I should cry, as we have finished 7th in the Liga high promotion, 1 point outside of the playoffs on 67 points. Granada and Zaragoza finished on 68 points. We had better goal difference than Granada. If we gained just 1 more point this season, we would have been competing for a place in La Liga. We have to just take this on the chin, lads, bring the right personnel in season 2 and go again. And we had an okay run in the Copa de España, reaching the round of 32 where we lost to La Liga side Girona 2-1. No shame in that at all. So our performance on the pitch this season has actually been quite good, and the growth amongst the squad has been really good. Our starting 11 is now full of 70 rated plus players, which we love to see, and with the right additions I do definitely think we can push on and try and get promoted in season number 2. Now, where do I want to improve this team going forward? Well, Luis Smith is 33-year-old and 70 rated and is only going to start getting worse. We need to bring a new CDM into the club. That is absolute priority. And given the fact we're going to be playing with a 3 at the back in this rebuild, I think we need to have extremely strong centre-backs. I am actually looking at Monte's position. 72 rated, 29 years old. I think personally we can do better than Monte. If we get a really decent budget off the board, I'll be looking to bring a CDM and commanding centre back into the club, which I think could give us a better chance of getting promoted, but it's all dependent on how much money the board decide to give us. Now, at the end of the season, Dione and Romani will be leaving the club as we're not renewing their contracts. They're both over 30 and not even first choice players. They will be getting moved on in the summer. And in terms of stats, it was actually Julian Lobete who was our best player this season, getting 19 goals and 6 assists. Ika Bravo had a fantastic season though, getting 18 goals and 6 assists, really impressive. And after that, lads, not many goals from the rest of the squad, which is probably something we need to work on in season number 2. So we have arrived at the start of season 2 and the board have given us 10 million euros, which is actually a really decent transfer budget. So lads, we have gone out into the transfer market and brought a CDM and centre back to the club, and I'm really happy with the business we have done. Kicking things off, we have brought in Marc Bernal from Barcelona for 1.9 million euros, 600 grand below his market value. He is 67 rated, 18 years old and already has excellent stats, and I know what you're thinking, Scott, he is 3 overalls worse off than Luis Smith. He has got excellent potential. He's very young. I think he's an excellent pickup, and I'm more than confident come the end of the season he'll be well above 70 rated. And then time for our marquee signing of season number 2. Juan Herzog joins the club from Las Palmas for 4 million euros, again below his market value. He is 72 rated, 21-year-old, showing great potential with really good stats. He's also really fast. Another player who comes into our starting 11, makes us much better already, and has actually got really good potential as well. However, we are now left with just 2 million euros, so it's unlikely we'll do any more transfer business. And our youth academy is starting to get stacked full of players. The pick of the bunch is Guled Fiklu, who is a 63 rated 16-year-old cam with 86 to 92 potential. Every player you can see here will be promoted to the senior team and sent out on loan. And we have had a very busy transfer window in terms of outgoings. Danny Sanchez and Carlos Puga have both left the club for a combined 3.9 million euros as their fullbacks, and we do not play with fullbacks. And we have also loaned out absolutely loads of our young players, including all of our Somali youngsters from our youth academy. Hopefully, when they all come back from their respective loans, they're pushing for first team places. Now, we have still got 4 million euros in the bank, so we're going to go and convert one of our loan to buys into a permanent deal right now. And I personally think it's a good idea to tie Ika Bravo down to a long-term deal. At 72 rated and 20-year-old with a market value of 5.5 million euros, he's an excellent player, and we can settle the buy option for just 1.7 million euros, which is a great bit of business. And Ika Bravo joins the club for just 1.7 million euros on a 4-year deal. This rounds off our transfer window. And considering how full of aging players this squad was 12 months ago, this squad is now full of teenagers and players in their early 20s with really high potential. We have done a really good job in bringing the average age of the squad down, and we've also built a squad that I think can definitely challenge for promotion this season. Now, our transfer window is done, lads. We're not looking to sell anyone else. All that's really left to do now is simulate forward straight through to the end of season number 2. So So we have arrived at the end of season number 2, lads, and we have been promoted to La Liga as we have finished second in the league on 91 points, winning 28 of our 42 games. We'll be joining Leganés, who had a Centurion season, in La Liga next season. However, it's time to put the celebrations on hold as we've got a lot of work to do to actually keep Malaga in La Liga next season. In the Copa de España, we once again made the round of 32, but La Liga opposition knocked us out. Real Sociedad beat us 2-0. No shame in that, but we do need to be competing with these teams in the league next season. So this is the Malaga team that has got us promoted to La Liga, and we have had some substantial growth all across the pitch. Multiple players who are touching 80 rated, like Bravo, Bueno, La Rubia, Herzog, and I'm hopeful by the end of season 3 we'll have multiple 80 rated players in our team. I actually think this squad is looking really good, but we do need some reinforcements. Now, the bulk of this squad is young and will continue to grow next season. I think it's time that we move Pastor on, as he's 26-year-old, 72 rated. We do need to bring a much higher level defender into the club to try and keep us up. And I'm also looking at replacing Herrero, our goalkeeper. He's 76 rated, 32-year-old. We need to bring a younger goalkeeper in who can carry the club forward going into future seasons. So that will be where our focus is at in season number 3, centre-back and a goalkeeper. Now, in terms of stats, Iker Bravo was outstanding, getting 31 goals and 7 assists, followed by Lobete, who was also very good. He got 24 goals and 12 assists. Both of our strikers were outstanding this season, and we are now getting into season 3, our first back in La Liga, and our goal is literally just to keep Malaga up. So we have arrived in season number 3, and we've only been given 27 million euros to keep Malaga in La Liga. Now, with not many saleable assets who I'm actually willing to sell, I think it's more important we improve the weakest part of our team, and I think that's clearly the centre-back positions. We have to make Jacobo's loan into a permanent deal, which will use up some funds. Then we're going to be looking to bring a centre-back in to replace Pastor. Herrero will probably be our first choice keeper for the rest of this season. So we are now going to make Jacobo's loan into a permanent deal. He's worth 4.4 million euros. We are going to sign him for just 1.25 million euros. And Jacobo does sign on a 4-year deal, but he's taking on 50 grand a week. And we will be saying goodbye to Wampe and Galilei, as they're both over 30 and pretty poor players at the Liga level. We do need to renew quite a few contracts as well this season, which could eat away at a lot of our transfer funds. So I don't think we're going to be bringing a centre-back to the club who's absolutely world class. We're going to have to be really smart with our money this transfer window. So after renewing all the relevant contracts, we're left with 21 million in the bank. I do think we can sign a pretty good centre-back with this money. But we have gone back out into the transfer market, boys, and we've brought a backup striker and a first choice centre-back to the club, and with the limited funds we've got, I think we've actually made some decent signings. Now, we've had to dip into the free agent market to bring a backup striker to the club, Tommaso Fumagalli. He's 75 rated, 26-year-old, looks like a really decent backup striker. He'll offer us some more firepower off the bench in season 3, which will hopefully help us stay in the division. We then went out and spent 15.5 million euros on Wouter Gors, who was playing for Borussia Dortmund. He is 22-year-old, 77 rated, with really good defensive stats. He's a huge upgrade on Pastor, and he's got really good potential in FC25, and will hopefully help us stay in La Liga. So just one change to the starting 11 heading into season number 3. Gors heads to the left side of our defence, as he's got 5-star weak foot. I think the starting 11 does look decent, lads. I think we do have enough to stay up. Our bench is definitely lacking, lads. We've got 2 decent backup centre-back options and a decent winger and striker. Other than that, a lot of 60 rated players, 2 academy players in there will hopefully grow. But with just 2 million euros left in our bank account, we can't afford to bring anyone else into the club. Stuck with the squad that we've got. Hopefully it's enough to keep us in La Liga, as we don't want to be getting relegated. Let's now simulate forward straight through to the end of season 3 and see if we can stay up. So we have arrived at the end of season number 3, lads, and honestly, what a season we have had, as we have finished 9th in the La Liga table on 49 points, achieving a top half finish in our first season back as a La Liga side. But we have set excellent foundations to build off heading forward, and with the right additions in season 4, can we even try and get into Europe? However, our performance in the Copa de España for the 3rd consecutive season saw us bow out in the round of 32 as we lost at home 3-2 to Valencia. Hopefully in season 4 we can finally mount a bit of a cup run. So this is how the Malaga team is looking at the end of season number 3, and do you know what? This is actually a fantastic team on paper. 80 rated players are now starting to grow all across our team, with the lowest rated players at the club club being Jacobo and Lebete. However, Jacobo is only 22 years old and 77 rated. He's got a big future at Malaga. And this brings the question, where do I actually improve this team heading into season number 4? Well, this team's actually looking really strong and a lot of the players in the team are actually very young. However, it will be finally time to make a goalkeeper our top priority. Herrero has been a fantastic servant to the club, but he's 33-year-old and 78 rated. It's time to bring in a younger, better goalkeeper with a higher ceiling. Now, I'm not too sure how much money the board are going to give us, as they didn't give us a big budget last season. If we do have enough money, I would like to bring in a better striker than Lebete, as he's 26-year-old and 77 rated, probably won't go on be an endgame player for us, but it's completely dependent on how much money the board give us. Now, in terms of stats, Ika Bravo was our best player last season, getting 17 goals and 2 assists. He also grew to 83 rated, and at 22-year-old, he's got potential to go well past 90 rated. So we have arrived in season 4, lads, and wow, this is really disappointing. The board have only given us 22 million euros. Definitely only going to be bringing a goalkeeper in this window, but we're probably going to have to sell some first team assets to be able to do this. Really disappointed from the board. Let's just see what we can do with the money we've got. Now, lads, we've been very busy selling players in this transfer window. We've sold some players that I wouldn't even have wanted to sell. The likes of Kimiko and especially Guled Furku, who's an exciting prospect, 73 rated and 18-year-old. He would have been an excellent player to have in the long run. But needs must, boys. We need a high quality goalkeeper. As you can see, we've raised around 16 million euros in player sales, leaving us with 38 million euros to bring a goalkeeper in. And don't worry, lads, we have kept some of our Somali wonder kids. We've not sold them all. And lads, we have gone out into the transfer market and used all of our transfer budget to sign an unbelievable Spanish goalkeeper. Joan Garcia joins us from Brighton and Hove Albion for 34 million euros. He's 26-year-old, 84 rated, looks like an outstanding goalkeeper due to his stats. He is instantly one of the best goalkeepers in the Liga, with still some room to grow, and this is a real high profile signing for Malaga. But given the fact we're left with just 1 million in the bank and we have sold so many players in this window, he will be the one and only incoming of season number 4. And with Garcia added to the team, we do look much more solid at the back. I do think we've got a really decent team on paper now. The only area that really concerns me is the bench, but we do have some good young players who I'm hopeful will grow quite a bit this season. And with our remaining money in the bank, we are going to send our youth scouts back out to Somalia to try and replace some of them wonder kids we've just sold. Now, with our youth scouts sent out, we've got 887 grand in the bank, and to be honest with you, lads, really isn't anything we can do now towards the end of the season. With no money to improve the squad anymore, no one else is for sale. All that's left to do now is simulate forward straight through to the end of season number 4, and hopefully we can improve on a 9th place finish. So we have arrived at the end of season number 4, and lads, prepare to be mind blown. We have actually finished second in La Liga, securing Champions League football for season 5, losing just 4 of our 38 games, winning 26 games, missing out on the title by just 3 points and goal difference. What an unbelievable 4th season as Malaga boss, and when you see the team, you will see why we have had excellent growth this season. But lads, it was absolute heartbreak in the Copa de España. We got to the semi-finals and lost to Atletico Madrid on penalties. They would actually go on to win the trophy on penalties as well. Absolutely gutted. So this is the Malaga team that has secured us Champions League football, and the team is looking very strong on paper. Now, one player in the team is below 80 rated in Jacobo, who's been an excellent servant to the club. However, if I had to improve one position in season 5, it would definitely be Jacobo's position in the back three. We need to bring a world-class centre-back into that back three to give us a better chance of being successful in the Champions League and trying to win La Liga. And any remaining money after signing a centre-back will definitely go on improving our bench. We've got a lot of young players on that bench, but they're just not quite good enough to play in the Champions League. So as of right now, our targets for season 5 are a new world-class centre-back and some rotation players for our bench. But in terms of stats, Julian Lebete this season was outstanding, getting 25 goals and 6 assists, along with Ika Bravo, who was outstanding once again, getting 22 goals and 3 assists. So we have arrived in season number 5, lads, and we have been given 70 million euros. This might be enough to bring a world-class centre-back to the club, but I'm not too sure we're going to be able to pack out our bench with this money. Let's just play it by ear and see what deals take place. So we have identified the centre-back we want to bring to Malaga in this transfer window, and his contract may be expiring in 12 months' time, as we have identified Mario Gila of Bologna. He is 27-year-old, 84 rated. His stats are absolutely unbelievable, with 87 pace, 3 play styles, and he can dribble dribble and pass as well. He looks like an insane centre-back, and we're going to get him on the cheap, boys, as Bologna are only going to want anywhere from 34.6 to 43 million euros. And we have signed Mario Gila for 38 million euros. What a steal this is. And this signing does in fact leave us with 25 million in the bank, so we can at least bring some rotation players in. And there will be one final signing in this transfer window, lads. I felt like we needed a backup central midfielder, so we have brought in Hugo Sotelo from Celta Vigo. 20 million euros. He's 24-year-old, 78 rated, really decent stats. I feel like he'll be a really decent backup player for us in season 5. And with 3 million euros left in the bank, and I'm not really looking to sell any key players or players who will make us decent money, that's going to be our transfer window done in terms of incomings. But there will be outgoings, lads. We've got to get some of these youth players out on loan, and we do have some very young players as well who do need to go out on loan this season. That will get sorted off camera. So this season, lads, we're back in the Champions League for the first time since the early 2010s, and some of our standout fixtures from the league phase are PSG at home, Porto away, and we'll also be travelling to Arsenal. So we've got some really difficult fixtures in the Champions League. We'll have to be at our best to get through the league phase. Let's simulate forward straight through to the end of the season, see if we manage to do so. So we have arrived at the end of season number 5, lads, and once again we have finished second in La Liga. This time though, we was 11 points off tabletop in Barcelona. We have secured ourselves Champions League football once again for season number 6, but our performance on the pitch was not as good, as we lost 7 times, only won 23 times, but our output in front of goal was excellent, scoring 84 goals, being the league's top scorers. Hopefully we can kick on and start winning some trophies, because in the Spanish Supercopa we made semi-final and got beat once again by Atletico Madrid on penalties. Just cannot get one over on them. But we have finally won our first major trophy of the rebuild, beating Real Mallorca in the Copa de España final 3-2, and that is finally a major trophy to our trophy cabinet. And in the Champions League, we would finish 3rd in the league phase on 17 points, 1 point off top in the table. Just guess what happened next. Borussia Dortmund would knock us out in the round of 16, 5-4 over 2 legs, coming from behind once again. The last time Malaga were in the competition, they were knocked out by Dortmund through 2 90th minute goals. I'm begging at the end of this rebuild we get Dortmund in the Champions League final. So this is how the team is looking at the end of season number 5, and Bravo becomes our first 90 rated player, with Bernal at 89 rated, not far behind. The team is absolutely stacked, boys. It's such a strong team on paper. We did lose La Rubia at the end of the season to a small injury. He's grown to 85 rated and looks a brilliant player. And our bench has definitely seen a bit of growth as well. Some of our young Somali wonder kids are now growing to real first team level ability levels. So going into season number 6, once again, lads, probably going to lean towards bringing another world-class centre-back to the club, just because our midfield and front two are really solid. Just feel like we're lacking another world-class centre-back to push us that one step further. Now at the end of the season, we are saying goodbye to a bit of a club legend. Nelson Monte, who's been here since the start, will be retiring. He's been a great servant to the club. But in terms of stats, Lebete has been insane in this rebuild. I just can't bring myself to replace him. 32 goals and 8 assists from our second striker is insane. Bravo had another great season though, getting 21 goals and 4 assists, and Cordero started to add goals to his game. Just need to carry this goal scoring form over into season 6 and stop conceding goals. So we have arrived in season number 6, and we have got a pretty exciting transfer budget of 86 million euros, which is our biggest to date, and I'm confident we can sign another brilliant centre-back with this money. And lads, we need a world-class centre-back. We've been signing a lot of Spanish players in this rebuild. I want to sign one more. Daniel Vivian of Tottenham Hotspur is our primary transfer target in this window, going for a little bit of experience. He's 86 rated, 29-year-old with outstanding stats, another rapid defender. Going to be a very costly deal. Spurs are going to want anywhere from 63 to 78 million euros for him, but I'm confident we can strike a good deal. I think this would be an outstanding signing for Malaga. And Daniel Vivian is in for 65 million euros on 120 grand a week, but I think he's going to be worth every penny. And with Vivian added to our starting 11, that team is now looking much stronger, especially on the right hand side. We've also got a very decent bench as well. Plenty of options on there, a few 80 rated players as well. I think the squad is looking the most complete it's looked throughout this entire rebuild. Now lads, our youth academy players haven't really been growing at the rate I want them to, especially the ones that we sent out on loan. So we've actually dipped into the free agent market and made what could be an outstanding signing in the long run, as we have brought in Elias Blanchard on a free contract on a 5-year deal. He is 19-year-old, 78 rated with excellent stats, plays CDM and centre mid. already 6'4" and an exciting prospect, and he's actually a fantastic backup CDM option, and that hasn't really cost us any money. So we are now left with 11 million euros in the bank, and to be honest with you lads, I'm really happy with how the squad is currently looking. There's going to be no more business taking place in season 6, so our transfer window is done. Now we are once again in the Champions League this season, and our league phase fixtures have been announced. Again, we have got very difficult ties. We travel to our arch nemesis in the Champions League, Borussia Dortmund. We've also got to travel to England to take on Manchester City, and we also have a very tricky tie at home to Galatasaray, who won the Europa League last season. However, with our squad looking as strong as it is, I feel like we've got absolutely nothing to fear, so let's simulate forward straight through to the end of season 6, see how Malaga get on with this amazing looking side. So we have arrived at the end of season number 6 lads, and we have secured our 3rd consecutive second place finish in the Liga, finishing 10 points behind eventual winners Real Madrid. We are really struggling to close that gap from us to the league winners, but we've got guaranteed Champions League football for season 7, and we did win 24 of our games. Hopefully we have got our La Liga trophy coming up soon. In the Supercopa, we were knocked out by Real Madrid once again. They have just dominated us this season, and Real Madrid would knock us out of the Copa de España as well. I'm just sick of the sight of Real Madrid at the minute, so I guess it's a good thing that we're going to be taking on PSV in the Champions League final, as we have made the Champions League final, and this is a really interesting final, you know. Malaga versus PSV, you would never have guessed that. In the league phase, we were very solid. We finished 6th out of all the teams. PSV actually finished 2nd. This should be a really good tie. In the round of 16, we absolutely battered Benfica, beating them 7-0 over 2 legs. We'd then go on to knock Newcastle United out 4-1 over 2 legs, or beating Liverpool 4-2 over 2 legs, while PSV beat Barcelona, setting up a final with the Dutch side, and this is going to be a really interesting tie. However, our team heading into the Champions League final is looking absolutely insane. Bravo and Bernal are absolutely world-class. Cordero, Bueno, Garcia, really world-class players as well. We've actually got a really strong starting 11, and I'm really excited to see how we get on. Now, in terms of stats, as you can see, lads, Lebete, Bravo, Fumagalli, that's very interesting. Cordero and Bueno all had excellent goal-scoring seasons. We just need our players to turn up one more time in the Champions League final against PSV. So here we go, boys. It is Champions League final time, live from the Estadio de Benfica. Malaga versus PSV, a bit of an interesting final. Front, they've got Johan Bakayoko. He's had a shot from distance. That is a very interesting start to the game from PSV. Early shot up to Larubia. That is brilliant. Larubia is pretty quick. Oh, it's a great ball to Ika Bravo. There's passes on. He squares it. Big chance for Larubia. 1-0 to Malaga in our first attack of the game. Fast flowing counter attack, and it's a player who's been with us since day one, Larubia, who gives us the lead. Great ball from Ika Bravo across the box. Not too sure why the better left it, but wow, it's not the best of finishes, to be honest. Keeper should be saving it. Bakayoko could be in. Nope. Oh, good save by Johan Garcia. Oh, thank God. So, almost an instant response from PSV. We need to win that header. Or not. Oh, dear. Got a foot in. What a save by Garcia. Still 1-0. PSV and banging on the door. He's absolutely wrapping in. Bravo could be in. There's a big gap in the PSV defence, and Bravo's in. Is there a pass on? Pull it back to Lebete. That's brilliant. Oh, what a save. No way. How is it not 2-0? Excellent football from us there. Really entertaining tie, lads. Plenty of chances. Very unusual that we have a tie that's got loads of chances in. Oh, no. They've played through us there. Great interception back. No. What a tackle. What a that was a goal-saving tackle there. Bravo could be in. Oh, we could do this going in. Don't miss Bravo, please. You've been so good in this rebuild. He's not quick enough, though. Have a dig. What a save, man. Yes. Lorenzo. Oh, the goalkeepers in this final, man, just cannot be beaten. Lebete could be in. Another chance for us. This has to be a goal. Lebete is in. It is 2-0 to Malaga. Excellent finish by Lebete. We've rolled our luck at times in this final. We've heavily relied on our goalkeeper. But we finally get the second goal on the stroke of half-time, and that is going to change everything ending into the second half. Half-time, boys. 2-0 to Malaga. It's been a fantastic game with loads of chances for both teams. We just need to find that extra 10% now to see this game out. We just don't need... let's just not give any chances away. Great ball. Oh, that's brilliant. Ika Bravo. And that's 3-0 to Malaga. That is the game over. Excellent passing move. We have sliced through this PSV team. And being 100% honest, boys, I don't see any way back for PSV. Oh, dear. Got a foot in. Great save again by Garcia. He just will not be beaten in this final. Come on, boys. I want the clean sheet. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Good save. Get it out, get it out, get it. Jesus. Go on, Cordero. Go on, Cordero. On to Bravo. Let's make it 4. It's 4-0 to Malaga in the 60th minute. PSV have gone all out attack. We are just carving them open. Ika Bravo scores again. Lads, that's it. That's the game. Malaga are, in fact, the champions of Europe. Brilliant finish by Bravo. 4 on the scoreboard for us. Oh dear, Bakayoko could be in. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? He's missed. Oh my God. PSV have had... I'm not going to lie, lads. PSV have had about 6 clear-cut chances in this game and they just haven't found the back of the net. Oh dear, get across to him. Get across to him. Oh, he's done me. Colombo, they've finally scored. Do you know what? PSV, I'm not going to lie, they've had so many big chances. It's been pretty inevitable that they were going to score at some point, but we've got a 3-goal cushion. I'm very, very confident we're going to win the game. It's actually a really nice bit of play by PSV, but it's another chance for PSV, man. They have had chances in this game. What a ball by the keeper. Oh my God, what a ball that were. Ref, that's a red card. That's going to be a red card. We was in, down to... He's got to go. If he is not sent off here, it's an absolute joke. See you later, lad. Clean through with Bravo. Adamo Nagalo gets sent off. The referee has blown his whistle and Malaga are the champions of Europe. An absolutely incredible display in the Champions League final, backed up by some unbelievable goalkeeping, might I add. And Malaga are, in fact, the champions of Europe. What a team we have built, and we are now the champions of Europe. Aguila lifts the trophy to round off a very successful rebuild. Malaga are the champions of Europe, and that's another rebuild successfully boxed off. So I just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video, boys. If you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, it would really, really help me out. We're getting so close now to 5,000 subscribers. And I will see you next week when we head to the Italian Serie B.